How do I generate revenue quickly? If you've ever asked yourself that question, today you'll learn how to implement 8 fast cash campaigns for your business. If you don't know me, I'm Vicente. I'm a fractional marketing officer. And over the years, I've helped countless businesses like yours move from relying solely on word of mouth and referrals to having a clear, structured marketing strategy. And at the bottom, you'll see a link where you can get your hands on 15 additional fast cash campaigns for you to execute. Now, these campaigns are just to start, and they aren't something that you want to be running all the time. So you mainly want to do it about every quarter or so, not more often than that. And these strategies work specifically well with people who have already purchased or shown interest in what you offer. Now, these campaigns are just the start. They aren't something that you want to be running all the time, nor should you be relying on your business to be running these all the time. You should do it about every quarter or so, but not more often. And one thing to note is that these strategies are going to work very well with people who have already purchased from you in the past or who have shown interest in what you have to offer. It's not an ideal strategy to implement with cold leads. Now, the first campaign to get started with is basically call all past customers who have not purchased recently. I know it sounds dumb, it sounds basic, but hey, like basic things are what drives revenue. You don't always need to have fancy things running to get some cash. So if you have some past customers, this is going to be the best way and the fastest way for you to generate revenue. All you have to do is pick up the phone. It's not sexy, it's not automated, but it is going to be the most efficient way for you to generate revenue fast. So basic way on how to do it, just pull a list of all your customers, ideally all the lifetime customers you have, and remove any of the active customers. That is very important because this is a strategy to reactivate past customers. So you want to maybe rank them by purchase, last purchase date and sort by newest. And then you want to call all the customers who purchased 30 days ago before you call older or inactive customers. So meaning, you first want to call customers that purchased 30 days ago, and then you want to move further down the line to customers that purchased 300 days ago. The reason we want to do this is because we want to start with the warmest old customers first, and then move on into the coldest ones. Again, if you don't have their phone number, find a way to get it. You can use tools such as datatower.com or, searching on Google using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can have somebody from your team go and find the information online. But it is going to be very, very important to be able to call these leads up. Again, we're looking at fast cash campaigns. So if you're pressed for cash, this is going to be a great way to get cash through the door. All you want to do is you also want to track all the outbound calls. You can, use something like Google Sheets, which is very low tech, or use a CRM and mark them as completed activity. You can use tools such as Copper, Pipedrive, HubSpot, Salesforce, whichever CRM works for you. But you want to keep track of who you've already reached out to. So this is the first fast cash campaign. And again, I know it sounds simple, but it is going to help you potentially close some additional deals, especially if you're strapped for cash. Now, campaign number 2 is basically emailing all past customers who are not current to get on a call. So this campaign basically supports campaign 1. What you want to do is you want to be able to send them out an email, then call on behalf of the email, right? So instead of just calling them up out of the blue, you first send them an email, then call them back and say, hey, did you receive my email? It's a warmer way to get a conversation started. And also, if they haven't seen your email, they're going to feel indebted to talk to you because they are behind on their inbox, right? It's just psychological. So a very basic email that you can send out is something with the subject line that says, hey, quick question, first name, quick question, Vicente. And the body, again, very simple, very short. You can just say, hey, first name, do you have 5 minutes to chat this week about your whatever you can help them with, right? Or whatever they were doing with you while you were working with you. So it just says that, give me a shout out, Vicente. Very basic. We're just trying to see if they respond back. And again, if you send out that email and they don't reply back, then you can pick up the phone and say, hey, Vicente, I sent you an email this week. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. I would love to see if we can chat. So you ideally want to send these out, on a Sunday or Monday, and then follow up every, on a Tuesday. If you can't find their number, despite Googling and using data towers, you can ask them for their best number. The goal is to get them on a phone call so you can have a sales conversation. So if you want to add, something to the email where it says, "Hey, do you have 5 minutes to chat this week about your whatever you can help them with?" And then you can say, give me a shout out or give me your best phone number so I can give you a quick 5-minute chat, right? They'll give you the phone number. So that is campaign number 2. Now, moving on to campaign number 3, it's calling your best customers and asking for referrals. And to be honest, most of the businesses rely heavily on referrals or word of mouth, which is great. But what we're doing here is we are turning that activity from being a passive activity where we're just basically, crossing our arms and waiting for people to refer business to making it into what I call an active activity where we're actively going out and asking people for referral. So one thing to note is the reason this works is because your customers are probably going to have friends that know other business owners that might need a solution to their problems that you can give. So you're actively going to ask your customers to refer business your way. So how do you do this? Well, right now, all you want to do is you want to hop on a call them and ask them directly. You don't want to hide behind an email. You don't want to postpone this because, again, these are fast ways for us to get cash through the door. Okay, so you can call them and use a script similar to this. It can be as simple as, "Hey, name, it's Vicente. Did I catch you at a bad time? Okay, great, thanks. As the quarter comes to a close, we're looking to bring in 1 or 2 more clients that we can serve. I was calling to see if you had anyone in your industry, field, niche, whatever, that could use our services. Totally no pressure, but we keep our costs to you as low as we can by not over investing in marketing promotions. Referrals are a great way for us to grow. Do you have any friends or colleagues that could be a good fit for our company? You can talk about them, have that discussion and say, awesome. Are you open to making a 3-way email introduction? Perfect. Once I get your introduction, I'll personally respond. And if we end up working together, I'll let you know. No matter what happens, I'll let you know what happens with the relationship. Thank you so much for your help. Can you get that on email this afternoon? You're the best. Thank you very much. Something like that, right? But we're going to actively ask them to connect us with ideally, multiple businesses if they do have. That way you can get the conversation started because I'm sure you have also had this in the past where when somebody refers a business your way, usually you just go and work with that business because you trust the person that referred them to you, right? And this is what we're looking to do as well. Get our own clients to just refer us new business. Now let's look into campaign 4, which is calling all warm leads and having sales conversations. This differs from the previous 3 because the previous 3 were aimed at either active clients or past customers. Moving forward, these are going to be for warmer leads, meaning people that haven't worked with you just yet, but have showed interest in some sort of product or service that you're offering or are about to buy. So the first step you have to take is really determine who you consider a warm lead for your business, right? A basic idea, just hopefully gets you moving, is I like to organize them and score them based on how many interactions they've had with you. So for instance, if they opted into a lead magnet, some sort of lead capture system, you can mark them with 10 points. If they viewed a case study, maybe 5 points, met with you in person, had a sales conversation, and received proposals. The warmer they are, the better it's going to be. And you can use something similar like this. You can create your own system. But basically, you want to be able to define who are the warm leads versus the cold leads. And once you've defined those warm leads, you want to pick up the phone and call them, right? Have a sales conversation, have your team pull up the list of those warm leads, call them, and if you don't have a sales team, then task yourself, with 10 dials a day, 5 days a week until your revenue problems are solved or you can increase your revenue. Okay. As simple as that. All we're going to do is we're going to try to get them over the line just so we can close them if they're already warm. So let's look at campaign number 5. And this is emailing all your warm leads with a promotion. You want to at least create a sequence of at least 3 emails. And ideally you can, create a webinar or a countdown timer. Basically, if you've already tried calling everybody 3 times and you've already burned those bridges, you tried everybody that you had, then we can move on into bigger marketing campaigns. And one of the best ways to do so is hosting a live webinar. All you need to do is, have a webinar software. It could be Zoom meetings, and you can upgrade to Zoom webinar if you need more than 25 recurring attendees. and assume that up to 40% of your RSVPs will show up to your webinar, right? So we always want to aim to have more people that say, yes, I'm going, because the number that are actually going to attend is going to be lower, okay? For your webinar topic, make it something painful or aspirational. So here's a few examples for you. A bad webinar title would be Acme Corp's new widgets. Boring, they're not interested in it, they don't connect with it. A good one could be how competitor X, right, saved 37% on their manufacturing costs with Acme Corp's newest widget, right? Again, connecting to their aspiration and pain points. And another bad one could be how to get your taxes done with less headache. That sounds super boring. So you want to think of good titles like what entrepreneurs must know about new regulations so they can pay the least taxes legally required, right? So always think about what that is going to be. Now, for the promotion itself, your goal is to email your audience 3 times, pushing them to a live webinar. These are people that you already have in your list that you can email back and forth, right? So webinar basics, just in case it's helpful. First of all, don't complicate this, right? Start with the webinar with a title slide, then ask a question like, who here is frustrated with X problem? Do a quick introduction about who you are. Then tell them, what you're going to do. So in the next 30 minutes webinar, I'm going to be sharing X, Y, and Z. And, you want to be able to think about like what's in it for them, right? What are they going to be able to do if they spend this time with you? So for instance, it could be how you can cut your production costs by 37% or how you can free up 3 hours of your time a week, right? You want to give like maybe 1 or 3 pieces of solid value during the training. That way they can see that you are somebody that they can trust, and then transition into a call to action. Buy your product, sign up for a strategy call, ask questions, etc. Right? To promote the webinar, again, you want to be able to send out these 3 emails. A tried and true cadence is usually Tuesdays and Thursdays because they work very well. So for example, if your webinar is going to be on a Thursday, schedule emails to go out on a Tuesday, first notice, Thursday, second notice, Tuesday, 48-hour warning, and then you go live on Thursday. Ideally, the longer you can have emails spread out, the better it's going to be. And the more time you can give people to actually sign up to the webinar, the better it's going to be, okay? Emails should be short and punchy. And the goal is to get people on a webinar, then get them to take action, right? So it's an opportunity for you to sell multiple people in a single sales conversation, which is great if you're trying to optimize for time. And then you want to ensure follow-ups with RSVPs, right? So book a time to call with everyone who RSVP'd. Ensure each lead is called at least 3 times before you declare they're non-responsive, right? So everybody that signed up, you want to be able to follow up with them continuously to bring them onto the live training. Now, campaign number 6 is warming old cold leads with promotion. Again, a minimum of 3 emails. So as you can see, if you are keeping track, we first went after past customers or customers that are already working with us because those are going to be the warmer leads or the easiest way for us to get a fast cash campaign to be successful. Then we move on into the warmer leads, right? People who haven't purchased yet but have shown a lot of interest. And then finally, we're going to move on into the cold leads, right? You want to leave the cold leads for last because obviously they don't know as much of what you have to offer, and they're not as trustworthy just yet, right? Now, a quick note, and even though this is a email to promote, you want to try to stay away from discounting, right? Discounting your product or service can lead to customers who are overly price conscious and become an issue down the line, right? So I don't recommend you are continuously doing discounts because you might have customers that just get accustomed to only purchasing from you whenever you do a discount, right? Now, having said that, if you do have some cold leads that they seem like they won't make any purchase from your company, you can try a last ditch offer to offer a product or service at a discount rate, right? So here are the qualifying instructions to using a discount promotion. For instance, you have a large quantity of leads, 1,000 or plus, that you have acquired through top of funnel marketing like lead generation, PDFs, ebooks, downloadables, or etc. Those leads are older than your average sales gestation for a new lead. So for example, if it typically takes a lead 30 days to turn from a lead to customer, these leads must be older than 30 days because they're already cold, meaning that You don't have to give them a bigger window for them to convert. They're probably not going to convert, right? And you want to have a clear product or service that will resolve the pain point that they have. So you can, sell this product or service at a discount and still make money, which is great, right? Just think about like, what is it going to cost me? I might lose a little bit of money right now, but in the long term, I'm going to make a quick ROI on that, right? The cool thing about these fast cash campaigns is that you really don't need to spend any money. You don't need to launch a campaign that is going to eat up the budget. It's just utilizing the resources that you have. So if you have a list that qualifies for this type of campaign, take your easiest to service product or service or part-time of a well-selling product or service and sell it at a discount. You don't want to give the whole thing just a piece, right? So for instance, if you sell architecture blueprints, you could peel off the consultant with an architect and sell that individually at a discount. That would provide, your leads with a new novelty, a low-risk purchase option that will then convince them to purchase the higher tier product or services from you. You want to compose a series of of emails, maybe 3 to 5, to send out your promotion to the list. And if your list is cold, hasn't heard anything from you in a long time, you may want to start a campaign by sending 1 to 2 additional emails to remind the list who you are and how you can help them. But that's not necessarily for everyone. So meaning, if you've been in constant communication with these people, you can just create that list of, that email sequence of 3 to 5 emails. But if they haven't heard from you in a while, you might want to start warming them up, sending 1 or 2 emails saying like, hey, it's Vicente. You visited my website X time ago. Just kind of get yourself introduced and then you can move forward from there. Now, you want to utilize scarcity of time by limiting the availability of the product or service, right? So you want to provide ample proof that your product or service actually works, create case studies, testimonials, logos of your current customers, etc. when you're building out your landing page for that, but it is going to be very good. And I've built out a couple of metrics for you to study. So first of all, you can look at your email send, the open rate, the click-through rate, which are going to be the most important metrics. And you want to aim to improve deliverability. So you want to check things like your DKIM, SPF records, and you want to be able to test 2 subject lines with every email and CTAs. Again, the idea is to get people actually interested in wanting to purchase this from you. So A/B testing is going to be really, really helpful. Now, once they have actually clicked on that, you want to be able to call the people that have clicked or that have opened up that resource. And you can pull this list from your email tools as well. It's not the easiest strategy, but it will be very helpful. And it might take a little bit longer than like the first, 5 different strategies that we looked at. But this is going to be very good if you're trying to reactivate old leads that have gone cold. Now, Campaign 7 is one of my favorite campaigns overall, and it's extremely simple to do. It's called a reactivation email, or it's also called a 9-word email. And basically, all you want to do is you want to message people or past leads or past, whether they're cold or hot, that have been purchased from you in the within the last 3 months, or that did buy from you, but it's been a long time. Now, the campaign, all you have to do is send out a very basic email. This concept was developed by Dean Jackson, right? And he developed a 9-word email, but it's extremely simple. All you're going to do is you're going to gather the information of those leads, and you're going to send them an email that says the subject line is just going to be their first name. The body is going to be question that addresses the customer pain point. So, for example, it could be something like, are you still looking at growing your blog traffic? Or are you still looking for a new job opportunity in banking, right? Again, it's super simple. It's not complicated. What you do want to make sure is that you have information at hand about what was the thing that they were going after, that they were researching before they kind of went cold on you, right? You want to have that information. That way it's very easy for you to connect with them. A few things to be mindful about is avoid adding any unnecessary fluff, right? The email should be very basic. Remember that the email's purpose is to re-engage, not to make an outright sale. So that's why we're keeping it short. We're just trying to get them to say, oh yeah, I forgot that I actually researched this, right? That's all we're trying to do. Get the conversation started. Address the recipient directly, right? You want to keep the email concise and actually use the recipient's first name. And you want to make it all about the recipient, not about what you can offer, but just asking them, is this something that you're still looking for, right? Now, I've had this campaign, and that's the reason I love it so much. And that's the reason I really like it, is because I've had past clients that did a reactivation campaign and had up to 10 leads say like, oh yeah, I am interested. I had forgotten about that. So it might do wonders for you as well. Now, the last campaign is increase your price by your profit margin. Super simple to do, but it's very, very powerful. So for example, if you're selling a product with a profit margin between 1 to 30%, you can consider increasing your product prices by your profit margin, such that your customers are paying marginally more for your product, but not receiving double the, you're receiving double the profit. So for example, if you sell a widget for $10 and it costs $8 to manufacture and deliver, if you charge $12 for it, that's going to double your profit. Super simple math, and $2 is really not going to make a huge difference for the person that's buying. So now, in order to justify the price increase, consider ways to increase the perceived value of your product, right? Such as additional customer service, maybe improving the packaging, adding bonuses that perceives the value, like a quick start guide or a video series, anything that is going to make them say, oh, I understand why I went up $2, because now I'm getting X amount of benefit on top of what I was already getting. Now, all these strategies that I just showed you are amazing because it doesn't require you spending more money or running any ads. Why? Because these are things that you can do quickly without having to go in the red. Add additional money that you might not have to then get more leads, right? So if you're in need of fast cash campaigns, chances are you might not have the budget to invest in ads or just increase the amount of money that you're using for them. So that's why I wanted to give you 8 different strategies that won't require additional money on your end, right? You can do one, or you can do all these campaigns, whichever ones work for you. And again, you can do them every quarter or so, testing them to see which one works right for your industry. Now, if you want to get a list of these 8 strategies plus 13 additional strategies, you can click on the link below to get a copy of them. And make sure to check out the other videos that will be coming out, where we will keep uncovering other ways to acquire new clients, build out systems, and really have a robust marketing team for your business.